What is going on, peasants? My name is JB and I'm back here today once again for another draft analysis, this time for the PTL or Pokemon Tri League. TRI, not try as in try hard, but try as in triple. But anyway, this is a showdown league ran by my buddy Gray and a few other cool people. He passed me an invite a couple months ago and I'm like, yeah, why not? I don't typically do showdown leagues, but why not? Might as well try one out for the new gym because I want to, get as much, practice in with the new mons as I can. And with the way the timer thing's going, we might end up having to play more showdown than we would like to this gen anyway, so we'll see. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty fun time. So similarly to PTL, this was a snake draft, 10 Pokemon format, or 10 Pokemon on your team. But this is a free draft as opposed to a tier draft, so you can draft as many broken things as you can get your hands on. But there were 20 people in your pool, and there's no telling how you're going to be able to, what will be there when it's your turn. So basically, the best mon there, you can draft it. You don't have to worry about any sort of points budget or anything like that. And I managed to snag myself another fairly good draft position, this time with also 4th overall. Actually, no, wait, that's a lie. I had 5th in PCL. I said I had 4th in my draft analysis, but that's a lie. I actually had 5th. This is the league I had 4th in. But with my 4th overall pick, I was able to snag Dragapult. Not really sure how this thing made it to 4. Galardarm, I want to say Dracovish, and something really random went before it. Oh yeah, this is post home, so I think it was Necrozma actually. So yeah, this is post home. We're allowing all the Pokemon that will be available post home through events and stuff like the Kanto starters, Jirachi, stuff like that. So that's cool, and I believe we're also allowing post home movesets. If we're not, then oops, because I've already played my week 1 game, and you'll see what I ran when I get to that Pokemon, but. No one said anything, so I think we're good. Anyway, yeah, I managed to snag Dragapult with my 4th pick. I'm like, yo, this is the new pseudo for the gen, and I get to try it in my 2nd league, so that's lit. But yeah, Dragapult's really cool. It has solid stats, really fast, good special attacker, good physical attacker. Honestly, I like special more. Okay, hold on, wait, you gotta make it Gen 8 OU for the moves to actually show up for some reason. I don't know why that's still a thing, but yeah, I like special honestly a little bit more, but just because specs is so cool. But yeah, it gets some solid coverage. It gets fire, water, electric coverage, so that's nice. It gets U-turn for pivoting, can willow stuff, can thunder wave stuff. So yeah, it gets a lot of usable moves. Some decent abilities too in Clear Body, Infiltrator, and Curse Body. First 2 are obviously better. I think Infiltrator is probably the best, but Clear Body can be good if you're running a physical set, want to avoid Intimidates and stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Sub-disable sets could honestly be really cool. I haven't really seen anyone play with that, but that could be fun. Of course, dual screens. It gets a lot of really cool stuff. It's a pseudo, it gets a lot of dope moves, and it should be a ton of fun to use. And I'm probably just going to slap the specs on it and kill everything because, hey, why think when you can just click buttons? That's basically my philosophy when playing Pokemon. So next up, I wanted to grab another really cool Pokemon that I really like, and it's also new, and that is the boy, the Elephant, aka Copperaja. This thing is so fun. First off, top tier design. Shout out to my boy the Elephant. Does it have a shiny? I haven't like. Okay, yeah, well that just changed it to the old sprite that they had. I don't know, I just want to see, but yeah, Copperaja. Its stat distribution is honestly weird. Has fantastic HP and physical attack, but its defenses are just kind of, I mean, they're nice, if you know what I mean. They're they're nice, but this thing is just a monster. It has obviously Sheer Force and Heavy Metal are both very usable abilities. You guys know I use this Pokemon in a Showdown Live, and I use the Heavy Metal set with with Heavy Slam and Heat Crash, and it just kills things. It hits so incredibly hard. Gets some decent moves. Good Stealth Rocker. It gets a lot of solid coverage too, with like stuff like Player Rough and Power Whip. And Zen Headbutt. It's really decent. It's really cool. It's a very good Steel type, and it should be a ton of fun to use. Very hard Pokemon to switch into if played correctly. And I think it will ultimately be a very good addition to the team. Next up, I wanted to round out that Fairy Dragon Steel Core, and I wanted to get myself a nice ground immunity, and I also wanted to get myself another new Pokemon. So we ended up with Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome, of course, Galarian Weezing. This Pokemon is phenomenal. I honestly think this is one of the best new Pokemon in Draft League. Like, this thing is incredible. Poison Fairy is a phenomenal typing both offensively and defensively, has some great resistances, and it just hits really hard. Like, Poison and Fairy is not an easy dual stab to switch into, and some very good abilities. Misty Surge is nice if you have an Unburden user on your team. Spoiler alert, I don't, but we have Levitate, which is always good, and then if you need to run neutralizing gas to absorb some T-Spikes, or I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've been told that if you say in a lead matchup, like if you're playing a rain team and your opponent has Pelipper, if you lead with Galarian Weezing, Drizzle just doesn't go off. Like it'll go off, but it doesn't like actually rain. I've been told that's how that works. I've been told this is like a good weather counter. I don't know if that's actually how it works, but if it does, that's phenomenal. Otherwise, it's still good because it lets you absorb toxic spikes if your opponent has a really good toxic spike setter, or if your team is really weak to toxic spikes, which mine isn't that weak, but it could be nice in certain matchups. We'll see, but mainly this thing is just a great support Pokemon. Stuff like Defog, Will-O-Wisp, T-Spikes of its own. It's good. It's a good speed tier for Taunt, being able to outspeed a lot of slower Stealth Rockers, preventing them from setting up rocks. Pokemon that kept Toxic is always nice, and it does have some decent offensive coverage as well. Memento is always a fun move. Haze is always a good support move to have. But you get some nice fire coverage, some electric coverage, and then dual stab with Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, and Strange Team, which is always phenomenal. And then Clear Smog is also a very useful move to have. So pretty solid all-around Pokemon, and I'm definitely looking forward to using it. I think this thing is going to be incredible. Next up, we have Arcanine because Pupper. You guys see it in my thumbnails, and it's one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, and it's a good doggo. It gives me a nice fire check, which helps out with Caparajah because right now Dragapult is my only fire check, and yikes. And it's just an all-in-all really good defensive Pokemon. And offensive Pokemon. It has a lot of great coverage to just hit crap with like close combat, wild charge, fire coverage, extreme speed, priority. But it's also a great defensive Pokemon that can just shoot hits with stuff like Roar and Will-O-Wisp to prevent deter setups, Pokemon and stuff like that. All in all, it's just one of the more reliable Pokemon out there, and it's one of my favorites, and I love using it. I've used it a ton, and it's a good mon. So next up, I'm like, wait, this is post-home? Pokemon can use these moves? Again, I'm pretty sure. If not, then oops, already played week 1. But yeah, this is the Pokemon I was talking about. We have Blastoise. I'm like, wait a minute. This thing's allowed and I can use Shell Smash? Are you kidding me? Sign me the F up. This thing is ridiculously strong. With Shell Smash, 78 speed, I believe, makes it one of, if not the fastest Shell Smasher. It might be the same as Cloyster. No, Cloyster's 80. No, Cloyster's 70. I don't know. It's a really fast Shell Smasher, and it has great defense, great natural bulk, and some solid offensive stats to back it up. 83 and 85 are nothing to laugh at, especially when you give it, priority Aqua Jets is always nice. Great coverage, fighting, dark, ground, even ice, of course, water, obviously. Rock, psychic, it gets all the things and all the stuff. It hits so hard with Shell Smash, bro. Other than that, it's a very reliable bulky water in and of itself with rapid spin. Having that support is always phenomenal. But yeah, it's a great Pokemon, dude. I am so excited to use it and get some Shell Smash sweeps because, spoiler alert, I brought it week 1 and I may or may not have clicked it. So if that's not allowed, hey, no one said anything, so I think I'm good. Next up, we got Vanilluxe. Vanilluxe is broken. Vanilluxe is disgusting. Snow Warning, Aurora Veil. Blizzard. It's like a bulkier Alolan Ninetales. It's not as fast, but is it? It's stronger, way stronger offensively. It doesn't get nasty play, but like 110 base special attack, spammable blizzards. Ice is a really good offensive typing. Terrible defensively, but dude, this thing hits so hard. And plus Veil is support for stuff like Dragapult and Blastoise even is incredible. Like Vanilluxe is dope, man. It doesn't get a lot, but it gets Aurora Veil, it gets Spammable Blizzards, it gets Freeze Shot to hit water types, and it gets Explosion if I need a boom on something. If I want to set up Veil and go boom, I can. Another decent speed tier for Taunt. But yeah, this thing's really cool. And hopefully it puts in a lot of work because I could honestly just see myself bringing like a Scarf Vanilluxe if my opponent has no Ice Switch-ins and just clicking buttons, or even a Tauntamize. Like, Vanilluxe is good. Vanilluxe is really good. Don't sleep on the ice cream. Next up, we have Xatu. I want another ground resist, and yeah, I do have 2 Pokemon on this team that are also on my PCL team, which is kind of unfortunate, but this one was not really on purpose. Like, I'm pretty sure I actually drafted this first, like in real time, but yeah, Xatu's really cool. It can Dynamax here like it can in PCL, but it does still get a lot of things. Basically, it gives me a good ground immunity, which is something I need, and still gets magic bounce, U-turn, stuff like that. Decent coverage with, fire, grass, and obviously flying and psychic. And then U-turn for pivoting, can Thunder Wave, can do some stuff and some things, prevents hazards and status, of course, with magic bounce. And yeah, really good, really good. I like it. Next up, we have Pangoro. Pangoro is another one of those Pokemon that is just one of my favorite designs, and it's also very good. I wanted Fighting type just because it's a good type to have, and I wanted a Dark type because it's just a good type to have. And this thing is so cool. I just love this Pokemon, dude. Iron Fist, Mold Breaker, and Scrappy are 3 phenomenal abilities. Doesn't really need Scrappy though, because obviously it's part Dark type, and it can just like Dark move against Ghosts, but it's still useful. Obviously, Iron Fist and Mold Breaker are probably the 2 you're going to be using more often, but this thing hits so effing hard with 124 attack. 58 speed is a little bit but it does have Bullet Punch for priority if it needs it, but yo, if this thing clicks a button, something's taking a lot of damage. Let me tell you, give this thing Darkest Lariat, which is ridiculous. Drain Punch, it gets elemental punches. Parting Shot is one of my favorite moves. Just good for momentum. Slow momentum at that. Good taunt user as well. But yeah, Pangoro's phenomenal. I really like this Pokemon, and I'm very excited to use it for sure. Next up, we have Leafeon. I wanted a Grass type. I got nothing, honestly. We have a Leafeon. It's bad. It's not a good Pokemon. it's really bad. It does have Wish. It can Swords Dance. Has priority Quick Attack. Has Leaf Blade. Yeah. This thing might be getting dropped, but it's okay. It's okay. And then last but certainly not least, I didn't realize I didn't have a Ground type, and I'm like, well, shit. Kind of need a Ground type. And it was the last round, and I'm like, well, there's nothing good. Okay, they split Silvalley's up, so I could draft Silvalley Ground, but then I only have 1 Stealth Rocker, and it's the Elephant, so that's not good. Well, the only other option is Rhydon. I already have it in PCL, so I'm going to go Silvalley Ground. And nah, I don't want to be forced to ride Rocks on Caparaja. So that's how we got to Rhydon. Yeah, it's really cool. I want to hug it still. Like, I just want to hug the Rhydon because it's adorable. But, I mean, you know, good bulky, Mon, 2 decent abilities, Rockhead, Reckless. Yeah, good Stealth Rocker, very reliable Stealth Rocker. Great bulk because you can slap an EV Light on it and run Speed F and probably chew like a Scald, maybe, depending on how offensive the water type is, but you know, it's decent. Physical wall to all hell though, like it's got great physical defense, especially with EV Light. But yeah, it's got good coverage because it's a Gen 1 Mon, good Stealth Rocker. I needed a Ground type because I forgot to take one. That's literally it. So that is my team for PTL Season 4. Let's go ahead and go over just real quick. We've got Rhydon, Leafeon, Pangoro, Xatu, Vanilluxe, Blastoise, Arcanine, Galarian, Weezing, Caparaja, and Dragapult. Honestly, this is a really fun team. I think it's going to do very well. It's probably, hopefully, going to end up being a playoff team, and I'm looking very much forward to this season. Like I said, this is a showdown league, so these are gonna be like less serious than PCL, which is the Wi-Fi league, obviously. So not that I'm not gonna take it seriously, and not that I'm not gonna try to win every game, but I'm not gonna go as super try hard as I will be going into PCL. So this could be a little bit more fun, a little bit more lighthearted. And yeah, it's gonna be like post-com. I'm gonna show you guys a replay. It's gonna be wacky. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be a fun time. So let me know what you think of the team, and I will see you all for week 1. A week from I think the league technically starts on the 29th, so sometime in the new year, I think is when the week 1 video will go out. So see y'all then. Thanks for watching. Peace.